because I had to knock on my neighbor's door one time. Well, I didn't have to.
We live, by the way.
But, huh?
We're live, by the
Oh,
way.
we live?
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Well, you just went live. I mean, yeah, I went and I knocked on her door.
Hopefully your neighbor doesn't listen to this.
Nah, she don't listen to none of this shit. And actually having a conversation in front of her, they should, oh yeah. Cause like the power went out over here. And I was like, okay, is the power out on the block? Is it out in this area? I stepped outside to do across the street. He was standing there. I was like, yo, is your power out? He was like, nah. It's like, okay, so it must be on my block. I go next door, I knock on her door. And I felt she was going to ignore me or I don't know. But she came out and then she was trying to be all friendly. But then like the next time I see her, it's back to the same thing. It's like, hey, what's up? And she just don't say nothing. So it's just like, all right, I guess we back to that. But like I said, to me, it just takes more energy to not say hello, especially when somebody say something. But
yeah,
I mean,
if somebody speak to you and you don't say nothing back, like you're a complete asshole at that point. You know what I'm saying? Like, I mean, it's almost, you almost have to like, I feel like you're saying pretty much, you spend more energy to not say something than to just be like, hey, or what's up, or throw your hand up, anything.
It's just rude, yo. And it's not like, why would you? I guess, I haven't lived everybody's life. I don't know what it's got to be something that you experience early in life to make you like that. You know what I'm saying? Like to make you just like automatically on the defensive side. I guess I've been like that before, but like, yo, it's just, I don't know, it's just rude.
I feel confident in saying that I've never, ever shunned anybody that's talked to me or spoke to me, and I just not said anything back. I don't think I've ever done that.
Right. Now, I mean,
I might not have verbally said something, but I threw my hand up or I did the head nod. Something.
What's up, bro? How you doing?
I got a couple folks, I work with some folks like that, and yeah, two strike rule. I speak to you twice, you don't say anything, I'm just walking by you from that point on. That's it.
I don't know. Well, I hope folks just get it together out there. It's no reason to be like that.
Well, I mean, that's part of living in ball. Be more. It's just like that.
Yeah, there's some things I have to get used to living out here. But overall, I like it. I think Baltimore has a lot of hidden gems. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of things that people don't know about. I mean, even when you live in the city, I mean, you hear a lot of bad things, but I don't know. I mean, day to day living out here, like I don't really see much out of the ordinary. You know what I'm saying? I guess I don't know. Every city's got its problems.
Yeah.
I'm just saying I don't think Baltimore's got a lot. It's got a lot, but at the same time, it has a lot. So like in a good and a bad way, you know what I'm saying? I don't know.
Yeah. No, I mean, Baltimore does have some hidden gems, but Baltimore does have that, that stigma, that gray cloud hanging over it from people that that may not know or don't live here or whatever. A lot of people, as you know, feel like it's the wire that Baltimore. Yep. It honestly, when people ask me that, I'm like, yeah, I mean, like I feel like The Wire did a great job of depicting Baltimore, but I mean, just
You know
like
what?
any
You bring
city.
that you bring that up, and I saw this thing on YouTube recently where this dude or woman, I don't know, drives through the hoods of like all these different cities at night.
Mm-hmm.
And just riding around. I was like, first of all, that's dangerous. Because if somebody know you recording them out there, that's that I wouldn't want that. But one of the latest posts was, driving through West Baltimore, driving through East Baltimore. It says at night. And it's just like, I mean, if people want to know what it's like, you can watch that. You won't know what it's like, but you'll know what it looks like. So you can stop
Right.
asking people, does it look like The Wire? But I don't know. That popped up in my mind. That's a pretty dangerous proposition. I know I wouldn't feel comfortable doing that.
Nah.
But it's out there on the net.
Nah.
If you want to see what it looks like.
I mean, with Baltimore, I mean, what they got? The Inner Harbor. Listen, one thing
I
that
don't even
people
go to
don't,
the Inner Harbor.
yeah, I mean, one thing that people don't know a lot about, well, we aren't known as much for the food scene, but Baltimore
Mm.
is really really dope when it comes to food. What's up, podcast, bro? What's up, baby?
You
Shout out to y'all. Um, yeah, I mean, a lot of people don't know a lot. They don't. Baltimore isn't known for that, but it really is. The food scene here is really popular.
Yeah, if you go eat in Baltimore, people like Fogo de Chao and stuff like that, but I wouldn't
Nah,
really go to the Inner Harbor. Like, I
nah.
don't understand how Phillips is still open. How is it? Why are people still going there?
I thought Phillips was closed.
No,
Is
Phillips was still down
I
there.
guess they still there. Peace God.
Oh, if they moved shit.
The
Like I said, I don't
wildest
go down there much.
the wildest way. Listen, if you're checking in, see, best crab cake. So our seafood, our crab cakes. We are
Coco's. I still have not been to Coco's, yo.
we are at the top of the
I'm gonna have
line
to.
with that. But as weird as it may sound, I'm not a big seafood person. Everybody I tell that, they're like, "What?" But I don't know. And this is a good point by the wildest way. They got good chicken boxes too. If you haven't realized, you just see two of us. I think Alex is smoking a brisket, probably. Quan is at the store, probably, because that's what he does. So then me and Brandon just got on. We just shooting the shit right now. So those that are listening, those that are watching live, appreciate y'all checking in. But we just sitting here talking. That's it. That's it.
Yeah, ain't shit. Same old, same old.
But I mean, it's out. I think it's outside of the crab. I mean, Maryland is known for the crab, of course, and seafood. But like
Old
outside of
Bay.
that, yeah, and Obey. Outside of that, though, Baltimore, the food scene has, and recently it started to get its props. I feel like a little bit,
Mm-hmm.
but
Mm-hmm.
it's one of the most slept on, one of the more slept on food spots.
They got some good Jamaican joints. I got a couple of Jamaican joints. Sweet Home Jamaica. I'll shout them out. Um, Caribbean Culture over there, Pennsylvania Avenue. That's the one I go to a lot now. Um, uh, what's that other one? Hold on, I got the menu over here. I thought I had it. Finger licking or something like that. It's over East Baltimore over there, a little bit past Johns Hopkins.
Mm.
Um, yo, I don't know what it is about Jamaican food, yo, but the oxtails, curry goat. Baltimore got a few places you can go if you want that.
I have a confession. I almost tweeted this because I think you tweeted not that long ago about oxtails. I believe. I think you did. Somebody did on Twitter, and I almost tweeted that I've never had oxtails. But then
A lot of people haven't had oxtails.
I didn't want the smoke that came with that, so I left it alone. I didn't.
You missing out, B.
I do want to try it. I want to try it. I think I want to try it.
Yeah, man. They're nice and meaty. Yeah, you missing out, B. Get you some oxtails. Curry goat, rice and peas, cabbage.
You can keep the goat.
Bruh. All right. They just say no, it'd be more for me.
You can keep the goat. I ain't doing no goat, bro.
Why not? Why not? Why wouldn't you try something? Why wouldn't you just try?
Goat is banging.
You'll get the vaccine, but you won't try curry goat.
Yo did that.
How about that one?
Yeah. Yo did that. See, I wanted to say that topic for the four of us, or at least three of us, because I think that you.
I don't think the other two of us wanted to have that conversation.
I think Alex did. I think Alex wanted to have that conversation. I think that.
Well, Alex, hop on.
I think that y'all have two very interesting standpoints on the whole thing.
I think at the core we agree. I think we just disagree on how to get to that point. Yeah. And that's fine. And I think here's my problem with it. I don't have a problem with what anybody thinks or does, whether you feel like the vaccine is going to save your life or whether you don't. My issue is with people trying to shame somebody else on something where you don't know if the shit, nobody knows if the shit works. I mean, it's working now. The results are promising. But if somebody wants to take the approach of, can I at least wait? The people who are taking it now, you are the test. You are the test. You are the test data that the people who haven't got the vaccine shot, you're the test data that they're waiting on.
Okay, well, how long is this test? Because it's been what?
As long as it needs to be. As long as it needs to be. As long as it needs to be. And here's my thing. Okay, so unvaccinated people, you're the ones spreading it. Okay, we already know that if you're vaccinated, you can still get it. Because all the new variants, and you could still pass it. You might not die from it. And the person who didn't take it is not going to, I'm not even. I wasn't even going to mention that. That's not even part of my argument. That's not even a part of my argument, because there's a lot of things that they approved that. Well, let's just say that's not a part of my argument. That's all I'm going to say about that.
Well, like Brandon, I don't
like the way that things are worded. It's okay. Here they make a statement. The vaccine is safe. Okay.
Yeah.
How do you know this?
Listen.
It's just serious. How do you know this? We just started taking it. How do you know this? The people who are taking it are the test data.
Yeah.
So you haven't finished testing it. You haven't come to a conclusion yet, but you're going to tell me it's safe because you want me to take it. They need the test data.
Well, but it has been some testing done on the vaccine. It wasn't just like they mixed it up like they mixed up a picture of Kool-Aid and then we got that. You know what I'm saying? Like it was some testing done before they rolled it out. It was fast tracked, right?
Yes.
And we all know that generally for vaccine testing it could take years, right? Before it's rolled out. That's to this point of what Wallace Way said. It's still not fully approved by the FDA. It's not. And it
doesn't even really need, honestly, for me, that, like I said, that wasn't even going to be in my argument. I don't even, okay. But I don't know. That just wasn't a part of my argument. But go ahead. My bad.
But no, I'm saying, I mean, I hear what you're saying. Like, yo, the shaming and all of that, right?
Yeah, that's my problem. The shaming. Like,
Th-
yo.
That's one thing. But I feel like the shaming comes from both ends, though, right? So you do have a
Fair.
fair amount of people that's like, yo, you got it. Yo, you the test dummy. Yo, you're gonna grow an extra arm in a couple years. Like, you know what I'm
No,
saying?
no, I don't think that's gonna happen. No.
I mean, you get it's that too. You get that side of it too. But I mean, I will agree that I feel, it comes more at the people who aren't vaccinated. Um, I mean, for example, the whole thing with DeAndre Hopkins, right?
Mm-hmm.
Um, he's not vaccinated, and we're finding out that a lot of NFL players aren't vaccinated, but he,
Mm-hmm.
for some reason, caught some heat for his comments,
Mm-hmm.
even though Cole Beasley had made comments way before D Hop made them about getting vaccinated, and he's been steadfast on his comments. Then Kirk Cousins has come out recently and talked about what he's not going to do. He'd rather wrap himself in plexiglass or box himself in these in NFL and their quarterback meetings, box himself in plexiglass
Mm-hmm.
before he gets the vaccine. He's not catching much flack, even though he did lose a partnership that he had with, I believe, a Michigan hospital or something like that. But I don't know, man. Listen.
Mm-hmm. Look, 85% of the cases in the hospital are the Delta variant,
Yeah.
which affects both vaccinated and unvaccinated people. 85%. We pretty much.
First of all, let's clear that part up first. Whatever dumbass thought that they were taking this vaccine and they were cured or would not they they could not get it, that's on them, right? I would
Mhm,
hope before you take any vaccine, not just this one, any vaccine, that you
mhm,
fully understand what you're doing, right? So
mhm,
that's one thing.
mhm,
So let's say that first, right? Because
mhm,
most people understood that even with the vaccine, that you could still get COVID, and we're
mhm.
seeing that more and more every day. People that are fully vaccinated are coming down with COVID, the Delta variant, any variant, they're getting COVID. So let's say
Right.
that first before you go.
Mhm.
But I mean, finish your point.
Yeah. And before I go on, look, like I said, I I'm not mad at anybody. Whether you got the vaccine, you feel like it's the best, it was the best decision. I agree with you. You haven't gotten the vaccination because you want more data. I agree with you. I think both decisions, given the circumstances, make sense. It's just two different approaches. Like, I'm not against vaccination, and I don't think I don't think a lot of the people who are unvaccinated are against a vaccination altogether. It's just like, yo, I mean, and they tell you on the CDC site, there's 3 phases to the test.
Mm-hmm.
To testing this, there's the small sample, which is phase one. Phase two is like a couple thousand folks. Okay, and in phase three, they tell you we haven't gotten to phase three, but because phase three takes time. You need the funding to to gather all the resources to be able to capture data from that large of a sample size, whatever it is. And right now 50% of the population have been vaccinated, so they are the test data. And I would say that the test data right now, it is encouraging to hear that out of all the people that are in the hospital, the majority of them are ones that aren't vaccinated. Okay, That's a point. But it's, how long is that going to be? You know what I'm saying? Because cases are already going up over people who are vaccinated. Then they have booster shots, and we talked about this before. These booster shots have to be compatible with whatever vaccination you took. It's not like you got Pfizer, you got Moderna. One of you is not going to be able to take the booster shot until another one is developed that is compatible with yours. And if it is, how many of that is what are you going to need? How many times do I need to get this vaccination? These are all questions that, of course, not all of these questions are going. We've already had vaccinations that we've taken before, and I'm pretty sure all the questions weren't answered there. But it's new, and to me, I feel like if somebody who says, okay, hey, you know what? Given the circumstance of what's going on, this is an emergency situation. I trust my government, although it just feels funny saying that, but I trust my government that they're going to do the best thing, whatever it is that you telling yourself in your head, that this is okay. But what I'm trying to say is I understand that and I get that. And if you feel that that's the best decision for you and your family, go ahead and do it. I support it. Then you've got another person who looks at the same situation and says, hold up, you're gonna put what into me? What exactly is this? Oh, we just developed it. You're not finished testing it. How do I know this works? What am I putting into my body? I think that's also an intelligent approach to it. You know what I'm saying? And it's not saying, hey, some people are like, yo, you're not going to put a vaccination in me, period. I don't care. If it's not required by law or whatever, I'm not putting it in me, or I'm moving. You know what I'm saying? Then you've got other people who I think the majority is, well, let's see how this works. Let's see how let's see how this pan out first before I start injecting my body with something like this. Then, that's fine. And my thing, before this vaccination came out, you got a lot of people talking about, oh, this is only affecting less than 1% of the population. That's basically what the ammo that everybody out here who don't want to wear a fucking mask. And that's another thing. You got people out here shaming other people about being vaccinated. You don't have your mask on. Where's your mask? Like,
okay, but would you say it's more people that's not wearing their mask that are
hell yeah,
vaccinated or not vaccinated?
No, how do you know? That's why when people, it's the unvaccinated spreading. How do you know that? How do you know that? How do you know that?
Because I mean, you don't, and it's not. Of course, it's not.
Okay, 100%. Exactly.
I'm saying,
why are you going around shaming people for
it's
it?
Not look. I agree with the whole shaming part. Now, for anything, vaccinated or not, like, yo, wear your fucking mask, right?
Yes,
like,
thank you.
I'm with that. Like, I don't care if you decide not to get the vaccine or you get it, yo, wear your mask, right? I'm more so on that line than I am like before I go push somebody to get vaccinated, right? Or or chastise them for not being vaccinated or vaccinated. But on the flip side of that, I think you kind of like, that group of folks who are hardcore against the vaccination are typically the ones that you see in the videos in the stores jumping in the faces of employees because they telling them they gotta go or put a mask on. Like, it's typically that that same crowd, right? So that's how you kind of know who it is that's fighting this thing. So then that's where my argument is with this. Like, yo, okay, yo, you don't want to put this thing or this shit in your body because you don't know what it is. But like, yo, you against wearing the mask too? You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Like that. Yeah. That's the part
that's reckless. That's right. Reckless.
Now, like, the folks who don't want to get vaccinated, but they're like, yo, I'm gonna rock my mask though. I'm gonna rock my mask until I see how this thing pans out. I can respect that But it's that group that doesn't want to do both or either, where it's like, all right, bro, like now you just being a prick with the whole situation.
They're playing the percentages. I'm telling you that those are the people who arm themselves with, yo, it affects less than 1% of the population. And that was the case before the vaccination. So now that the vaccination is out there and half the population is vaccinated, people really, they're really feeling courageous out there. But there's also other people. You mentioned people who are totally against vaccination. There's also other people out there who just believe in, eating healthy, living
Yeah,
healthy. Also reduces your risk because it's often reported that the people that folks who are passing away have they had things that they were dealing with before
yeah.
they caught COVID. And I don't know, man. Look.
I look
I'm like I said, I'm just against the shaming. But wear your mask, yo.
I,
Just
I
just
I look at the raw numbers, right? I understand that if you break it down, it could be like, oh, it's only a certain percentage. Yo, but when you tell me like 900,000 people died, like, you know what I'm saying? That's a lot of people, yeah.
that's a lot of
And I
people.
and I'm not sure if that's the number right now. I know it's up there, but that's a lot of folks. So either way, right? If this thing is real, because then you go down the line, and I really don't want to go down this rabbit hole, but then you go down with folks who are like, you know, it only those with underlying conditions are dying, or this is man made, da 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 da. Yo, for whatever it is, right? I'm
Yeah.
I'm not trying
Yeah.
to
How do I
figure out
protect
what it is.
myself from
Right. Whatever it
it?
is, you know what I'm saying? It's killing folks. You know what I'm saying? So
Yeah.
I don't feel like that's the fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Or that you don't have to prove that to me. I don't care if it's man made or some real shit. It's a virus that came from wherever, right? It's
Yeah.
killing folks, and that's the scary part. Now, as far as what you said earlier, which I meant to comment on, with the booster, right? And if our booster is going to be needed or whatever the case may be, in my eyes, right? One of the things that I've said is COVID is going to be the new flu, right? It's going to be the new flu because if you notice, the flu basically disappeared, right? Who name the last person that who had the flu since we've been wearing masks and all of this stuff. Like the flu cases are way down for whatever reason, right?
Well, when people get sick, I don't know.
Yeah,
I mean,
but my point is for those, there are millions and millions of people that get the flu shot every
right.
year. So it's a good chance that it's going to be the same thing with COVID, right? Now, the question is the choice of it or not. You see what I'm saying? Like, I mean, personally, I don't get the flu shot. I've never gotten it. I've never gotten it.
Yeah,
So
I never got it either.
yeah, and but there are plenty of people who do get it, and shout out to them. But I don't ever get to your point. I don't ever get hit over the head like, why aren't you getting the flu shot? You're so wrong for not. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, I feel like,
Well, the flu hasn't been marketed as a killer as
but
COVID
but,
has.
but the flu kills it's a fair share of people as well yearly.
Look,
You know what I'm saying? But
right.
I mean, my
And
whole
that's a
point
that's a
is,
del- that's a delicate subject to touch around when you start talking about numbers in death
yeah. My
because
my my whole point of this is my whole point of saying this is, you know, we should be preparing ourselves for it to be along those lines, right? Like, yo, you get a flu shot every year, you will probably have to get a COVID shot every year if you decide to get it. You know what I mean? I mean That's just the way I'm looking at it. Like it just seems like it's the next thing that because the flu when it was, especially when it was the oh man, what was that strain of the flu that was killing folks crazy? Influenza, some I don't know, one of them joints, right? Like you know that it became a strong push on people getting the shot for it. So I feel like COVID is moving into that slot now. Whether you get the shot or not, whether you feel like it's necessary. I know a lot of people who I speak to who don't want the shot. A lot of them are taking a holistic approach, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, eating juices and berries and shit. You know what I'm saying? And eating shit from the earth and shit.
From the earth. I mean,
You know what I'm saying?
I'm sure that increases your chances because it helps to reduce the number of health problems that you're dealing with in the first place, which lowers your chances or which increases your chances of fighting off COVID.
Or any sickness at that point, right? I mean, to that point.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But it seems as though COVID is really damaging people who already have something that they're dealing with. So if you can limit that certainly helps as well. So you can't be that's another thing. You can't be one of these folks out here who got the vaccination and you're in the worst shape possible and you're getting on somebody else. Like that doesn't make sense to me either. But hey, that's just my personal opinion.
Okay. I mean, it's tough, yo. It's tough. Right? Because
I get it both ways. I just stop shaming folks. Let people live. You don't know everybody's spreading the virus. Everybody's spreading. I think that is dangerous to be out here saying it's the unvaccinated spreading the virus. Like we sound like we're in a damn what is it called? Walking Dead episode. You know what I'm saying? Like, yo, come on, yo. Like, how do you know that? How do you know that? Everybody can get it. Everybody can pass it, even if you don't have symptoms. You're vaccinated. You caught it. You're asymptomatic. You passed it on to somebody. Hey, you passed the Delta variant on to another person who was vaccinated because y'all were around each other with no masks on. But that person, it affected them a lot differently than it affected you. But I must have been around somebody who wasn't unvaccinated. Yeah, while that's probably true, that doesn't mean that they're the ones who passed it on to you. So I think that's a very dangerous narrative. Dangerous narrative. Because, the country is split on everything, yo. Literally everything. Everything. Especially when it deals with politics. And you see how crazy people can act. So I wouldn't be surprised after a while you see some video or some shit or vaccinated people, I don't know, beating up an unvaccinated person. I don't know. I'm just saying people out here doing wild stuff, you know what I'm saying? Storming the Capitol and shit. I mean, you never know what could happen. People get that revved up about it.
So let me ask you this.
So to be pushing that narrative, I think it's very dangerous when everybody out here is spreading the virus.
Yeah, but the way it was pushed to us, right? If you're around people who are also vaccinated, you are.
Who is it pushed to you? Who's that information pushed to you about? What the source of information is? What the CDC? They update their sheet. They update their shit all the time because they're as they find stuff out. So when you put a vague statement on there that says the vaccine is safe, okay, I want to believe you. How do you know that?
Okay, well, my point is, so in a sense, the cohorting, right? Like you are supposed to be safer around folks who are also vaccinated.
Yeah,
right?
and they told you
So,
not to wear
so
your
number
mask.
one, so
They
that
told you specifically, don't wear your mask. You know why they do that? Because they obviously want people to get vaccinated and to incentivize it, getting the vaccination.
okay. So let me ask you this.
But to incentivize it, say, hey, you don't have to wear your mask no more. I bet you if you don't have to wear your mask no more, people will go get their vaccination. And like they predicted, a lot of people went out and rushed out and got their vaccinations immediately and immediately took off their masks. That's probably the number one thing they were looking forward to. I don't have to wear this damn mask anymore.
Yeah.
And I feel like they told people that to incentivize getting vaccinated when they did not know for sure whether that was a safe option. As a matter of fact, they probably figured that they could probably still spread the virus, but let's see how it pans out first. You are the test subjects.
So from your standpoint, why is it so urgent for them, or why do you think they want everybody to get vaccinated so badly?
Well, I'm not gonna sit out here and spit out these conspiracy theories, but just in a practical sense, you know, this hopefully was the best shot that they had in the amount of time that they had.
Yeah.
And with the limited testing that we've done, the signs look good. Although we have not fully tested this on a large sample. That's like you take a survey of 200 people. This is what people like. And then you pick up a magazine and you read the list. I don't like any of this shit. Yeah, because that's the 200 people that you asked. That's a small sample. Or 2,000. You're talking about hundreds of thousands, millions of people. Now we're talking about a real test size. And if you tell me that over the course of a year or two, that on this sample size of 2 million people, that 0% were hospitalized during those 2 years, 0% passed the virus onto someone else, that might convince somebody who is not vaccinated to get the vaccination, to finally say, okay, all right, I've waited long enough. People are okay, whatever. Now, a lot of people feel like the amount of time that's passed over now is enough time. And for a lot of people, that is. I don't argue with that. But for somebody who says that's not enough time for me, because now I don't even say now. They were talking about they weren't sure how effective this vaccine was going to be a long time ago. They were talking about booster shots right after they damn released the vaccine. They were getting those ready just in case, because they weren't sure how much of the vaccine people were going to need. They were still figuring this shit out. They're still figuring this shit out. And although the signs look great right now, somebody might look at that and be like, yo, I'm just, okay, this is great. I'm not ready yet. Or you got other people that's like, yo, I'm just going to live a healthy life. I'm going to roll the dice. Because they're looking at the numbers and saying, okay, it affects less than 1%. And they're also looking at the numbers from a percentage wise that the number of deaths have gone down. So when those are the people who are like, okay, I'm good. I can take my chances. That's their thinking. But like I said, when you get to talking numbers like that from people who have lost relatives, close ones to COVID, it's kind of tough to be just like throwing numbers out there like that and just speaking at them as like, oh, it's only this, it's only that.
Right.
But that's in reality, that's the way this is the way people are rationalizing it. Then you got other people that are just like, nah, fuck that. Nah, I'm not taking it because something they heard that happened to black folks a long time ago and never even read up on it. Don't look up or whatever. And, and to be honest with you, do black people really have that much of a reason to trust the government? I mean, well, let me say this. Would you blame a black person if they didn't trust the government? Let me phrase it like that. And in most cases, coming from another black person, you can understand it. So, I mean, I don't know. It just, I just hope that things continue to, I don't want to say continue to, because now there are holes in that. If the vaccination starts working and we only need, we need to get a yearly shot to update it, I'm cool with that. And, I'd be cool with that. But they don't know. They don't know. They got booster shots ready. They talk about, you need to have 2 every month. You need, like, come on now. What?
See,
Hold on.
now 2 every month.
We need to do some more testing.
I didn't hear that one. And the 2 every month, yeah, that's a bit much. But I don't know, man. Listen. I'm not gonna be the one to. Well, I wanted to ask you this first. So, right now, especially using NFL as an example, right? It has become a whole thing. One of the main questions when these cats are being interviewed: are you vaccinated? And a lot of them are saying, I mean, even in the
it's
NBA,
none of your business.
Right. Okay. So my question to you is, if you choose to not get vaccinated, right?
Mm-hmm.
Do you think that more people should be willing to share their status, whether they're vaccinated or unvaccinated, to give people a heads up or the choice if they want to be around this person, or, I mean, from a protection standpoint? You know what I'm saying? Like, if I'm not vaccinated and you are, or vice versa, right? Should I be? Is it my right? Is it my duty to share with you that, Brandon, you coming over, bro, but I'm not vaccinated. As long as you cool with that, whatever. Or should it just stay to where it is, like the NBA and NFL players are carrying it, like, it's none of your business?
Very good question, and I think in different contexts, when I said it's none of your business, it's in different contexts. If it's in the context of the press, I'm an NFL player, and the press is asking me, are you vaccinated? It's none of your damn business. Okay, if it's my, if I know, I know, you gotta. I told you my status. Everybody told you this status before they came over your house on Men's Day. Yeah. Like, you know my status is, because that's a personal relationship. You know what I'm saying? And that's different. That to me that's different. And also in the NFL, they don't have to tell their teammates, because their teammates will know. Because the vaccinated and unvaccinated have to go through 2 different protocols. Mm-hmm. The unvaccinated folks got to stay quarantined up, where the vaccinated don't. Which, again, you're trying to encourage people to get vaccinated, but you're doing it in a way. You're doing it. You're trying to tell people, you straight, but you're not straight right now. Kind of at the same time, like. I don't think that's accurate. I think that's misleading. I don't know. I don't think it's right. I don't think it's right. Like I said, I don't like the way. I mean, I understand CDC has, you have to constantly update your stuff because you're still learning.
Right.
That's the point. You're still learning. You don't fucking know. So when you tell me, it's safe, it's safe so far. What you could say is, these are statistics that we're using to back up to say, it's safe. And the only thing I've seen so far is that, hey, most of the people that are in the hospital right now are unvaccinated. Okay. Let's see how it works over time.
I think I think some of the numbers are encouraging when it comes to the elderly population, right? I think it looks good with, because when this thing first popped off, nursing homes and things like that were getting hit hard because, of course, you're older, your body isn't so much equipped to fight off something like this. And as you're older, you're more prone to have some pre-existing conditions. So it seems to worked in that regard, right? The scary part for me right now, right, is and to your point, right? To your point, the CDC and everybody and the top doctors and scientists were all saying it doesn't really affect kids. Now, the narrative right now is that it's hitting kids, right? Whether it's COVID or RSV, which is, I mean, they do the same things basically. RSV attacks children's lungs and other things. COVID, as we know, attacks your lungs and things like that as well. So that's the scary part for me. Now, being 100% transparent, I didn't want to get the vaccine at first. I held out as long as I could, right? But then I got a 2-year-old, and I'm like, it would crush me if where I work, I'm considered essential. If I brought that shit to my 2-year-old, right now, I can still do it. Let's be clear, I can still give it to him, right? But
it gives you peace of mind. It gives you peace of mind. And brother, you made the best decision for your family. And I support that. You ain't out here shaming other people, though. You might want them to get vaccinated. You might want to encourage them to get vaccinated. But you're not treating them like they're the worst scum on the face of this earth.
I'll be honest. Like, I'm not going to be on the front lines with a picket sign saying, get vaccinated or shame on you. I'm not going to be doing that. I feel like, me personally, it is your choice, right? I just suggest that people consider and do research like you have been doing or like you have done. Do research and then consider those who are around you and how it could affect them, right? But at the end of the day, it is your choice. I don't agree with what it looks like is about to happen or it's already happened in the state of Maryland, where the governor is now pushing for state all and trying to make it, or is making it mandatory for state employees. Not quite mandatory, but he's giving you the option, right? Either you get vaccinated or you're subject to weekly testing, right? I mean, I've had a COVID test before. It ain't the best thing. I don't know if I want to do it weekly, but I feel like that's kind of pushing people to be like, yo, I'm just gonna get it because I don't want to deal with that. But
I think people, whether you're vaccinated or not, should still get tested. People who've been vaccinated don't get tested. Don't get tested. So when you're talking about, it's only the people who are unvaccinated that are catching it, it's the people who are unvaccinated that are still getting tested. They're still taking precautions. But I think whether you're vaccinated or not, you should take it. Like, if you're vaccinated, how many people out there who are vaccinated are actually out there going and getting tested? How many think that? I don't, maybe 2 people? I don't know. Out of like 3 million? I don't know. Like, yo.
Maybe 2 people.
Ain't nobody. If you're not wearing a mask, you're not worried about you. You're clearly in some of the places I've been with a mask on. He was like, nobody else. Okay. You don't know who's vaccinated, who's not, but does it really matter? You know what I'm saying? So I don't know, man. I'm just saying
my problem are with those who, who are against the whole thing. Like, I'm not getting vaccinated and I'm not wearing a mask.
Right. You still got to take precautions, whether you're vaccinated or not. Now, vaccinated might lower your chances of becoming more ill, and it might even reduce the chances of you passing it. Let's hope that that's what the data supports. You guys are the tests. The 50% of you who have taken the vaccination, the 50% who are not, they are watching.
Hey, let me look at Let me see
Well,
if
maybe
Mike.
maybe not all 50% are watching, because even if the vaccine does work, I do think there are people out there who it's not mandatory. I'm not taking it. I don't care. I don't care.
Yeah.
I take my chances,
I mean,
whether I live healthy or not.
you have the people who you had the people who are skeptical just from a standpoint of how fast it was rolled out. Then you have, the anti-vaxxers that won't take anything, that won't take any vaccination. So, you know, the shaming of the anti-vaxxers, the one thing I don't like about that is like these motherfuckers don't take any vaccination. This ain't the first one vaccination that they
Yeah.
are against. So like, the one thing about it, they've been consistent. So you can't argue that. Um,
Mm.
it's just those motherfuckers, excuse my French, that are anti-vax, mask, anti-protect, this it only affects 0.5%. I'm young and healthy, it doesn't affect me, blah, 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 blah. It's that crew that I'm like, yeah, all right, bro. Like, I hear you, but you know, it's a little. I don't know.
Excuse me.
Like, I mean, I even feel like, like I said, as a vaccinated person, you see me, I still wear my mask, and I've worn it from day one. So I just feel like everybody has to play their part. You know what I mean? And
Yeah.
this is a pain for all of us, right? Nobody wants to wear a mask. Nobody wants to be like, damn, yo, everything might shut down again because this shit is spiking. Nobody wants to deal with this shit, right? I get it. So it's an inconvenience to everyone. So playing your part, I feel like, is essential, right? Whether you feel like it's getting a vaccination or it's just throwing a mask over your fucking stink breath.
Right.
Like, I mean, we're all annoyed by it, bro. Like,
Right.
you know, play your part one way or another to
Play your
help.
role, son.
Yeah, like, so we can get rid of this shit, man. Like, I was excited about planning a Jamaica trip for our birthdays coming up next year. Now I'm like, yo, should I even try? Should I even do it? Because this shit's spiking. And then, get excited, and then time trip roll around, we can't fucking go. So
I
like,
thought that
yo,
was supposed to be a fellas trip too.
uh, that's for another show.
I thought,
That's for another show. But
yeah, that's
you
for
know,
another show.
but it's that part of it, right? It's that part. Like the whole I'm against every fucking thing. Like, I gotta prove a point. Like it, like the dude, even when they were mass mandates and shit, and I get it. Like, yo, that's against my constitutional right. You can't make like that one dude, the one dude that you will see walk into like the store being a complete asshole without his mask, daring somebody to say something to him. Like, that's the person that I'm like, yo, come on, man. Like, I'm not gonna be the one to like, yo, let me help you find a vaccination site. I'm not gonna be that dude. I'm not gonna be the one to push this shit on anybody. But at the same time, we can't be anti everything. That's my point. You know what I'm
Yeah,
saying? That's just how I feel about the whole situation.
yeah. I feel you, man. I feel like we've beaten this horse pretty good.
Yeah,
It's
we
dead
have.
horse.
We have.
We've kicked it. We've stomped it. People get
Well,
the.
look,
I hope people get the point.
yeah,
Gee
man.
whiz.
People get I mean, look, the point is do what you feel is best, right? And then also play your part for those that are around you,
Right.
whether that's getting the vaccine or just wearing a mask, man. But at the end of the day, it's about protecting one another. And then, to your point, like the shaming side, like don't shame those who, don't want to get the vaccine. I will say, shame those who wear a mask and you can still smell their breath. Shame those motherfuckers. They deserve to be shamed.
Damn. Yo, your breath got to be rocking.
Nah, I've
Oh.
never experienced that. I just heard that. I heard Kevin Hart say that. He said he said he ran into somebody and he could smell their breath through their nose.
Oh man.
Well, look, man. On that note, it's just two of us. It was two of us today, man. It's myself, B. Yo, anything in closing, man, before we let this thing go?
Nah, man. That was fun, man.
Well,
Let's do
look,
it again. OTR for life.
like I said, Alex is probably doing a midnight smoke of a 14-pound brisket, and Quan probably found a reason to run the Target. That boy love going to the store, man. Love going to the store. Listen, man, check us out on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and YouTube. Now, yo, our YouTube subscribers have been going up because I do got to get this off. Apparently, DJ Academic has started a podcast called Off the Record. So, yo, our subscribers have been going up over the last week. I appreciate y'all that's subscribing, but it's not DJ Academic. We had the name first. So, hey, if you don't like some of his subscribers coming to us, tough. But follow us, man, on Twitter at OTR_pod, Facebook and Instagram at OTR_podcast. And then search us up on YouTube at Off the Record Podcast, man. Those that checked in on the live stream, we appreciate y'all. Till next time, we out. Peace.
Peace.